Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great. I am Neha Rajvanshi and I welcome you all in today's class, that is English class of class 10th. So students, in today's video we will start reading with our next tense, that is actually our last tense also. So the name of the tense is future perfect continuous tense. Okay, so today's video is based on this tense, and in this video we will see all the rules that are related with future perfect continuous tense. We will see the uses, and yes, we will see some examples. Okay, so now let's begin our today's video. So first of all, let's see some of the rules that are related with this tense, that is future perfect continuous tense. So first of all, we are having the helping verbs. Okay, so let's see, in this tense we are having again two helping verbs. We are having shall and will, but with them we have to add have been. Okay, so in this manner we are having two helping verbs here. The first one will be shall have been and the second one is will have been, right? So yes, two helping verbs we are having, and when we are having more than one helping verb, then we have to use them according to the subject, right? और इससे पहले भी हमने will और shall सभी future tenses में पढ़ा है. So just like will and shall, just like will be, shall be, just like will have and shall have, these two helping verbs will have been and shall have been, they will be used. Okay, so how? So let's see. First of all, we are talking about shall have been. So this helping verb we will use only for I and we, just like shall be, and just like shall have. Clear? Second verb that we are having is will have been. So this helping verb will be used for rest of all, for all the other subjects, right? So yes, this is the use, and in this tense also we are having two helping verbs. Just revise one more time: will have been and shall have been. Shall have been we will use only for I and we, and for all the other subject we have to use will have been. Clear? Next, moving on, now we are having main verbs. So because this is continuous tense, this is future perfect continuous tense, this is one of the continuous tense. So in this tense also we have to use first form plus ing like all the other continuous tenses, right? So in this tense also we will use first form plus ing. So now we are having some of the examples that how we have to add ing in the first form. So let's see, the first verb that we are having here is staying. So staying is actually stay plus ing. Stay is the first form of the verb, and when we are adding ing, then the new word that we will have, it will be staying. Clear? Second word we are having here is watching. So watching is also watch plus ing. Watch is again first form, and when we will add ing, so it will be watching. Next we are having walking. So it is also walk plus ing. And the next example that we are having here is coming. So this is actually come plus ing. So in this manner we have to add ing along with the first form of the verb. Then we will have first form plus ing, and this is the main verb of this tense, that is future perfect continuous tense, right? So this is actually very easy tense. As a helping verb we are having two helping verbs. The first one is shall have been, second one is will have been, and we have to use these two helping verbs according to the subjects that we have discussed already, and actually so many times in all the future tenses. And if we are talking about the main verb, then in this tense also, because this is one of the continuous tense, so we will use first form plus ing. And yes, these are the same rules that are applicable for all the different kinds of sentences. For negative, interrogative or positive sentences, we have to use the same rules, right? So this is actually very easy, very much clear. So now let's see some of the examples. Let's read some of the sentences where we are having future perfect continuous tense. So let's see the first one. Lata will have been singing from morning. So this tense we are having, in this sentence we are having future perfect continuous tense, and as a subject we are having Lata, and for Lata we have to add will have been as a helping verb, and we are writing singing, that is actually first form plus ing, that is actually sing plus ing as a main verb, and the complete sentence will be Lata will have been singing from morning. Clear? One more example we are having here. He will have been playing cricket for 2 days. So in this sentence also we are having future perfect continuous tense. As a subject we are having he. So we all know that for he we have to add will have been as a helping verb, and as a main verb we have to write first form plus ing. So we are writing play plus ing, that will be playing, and the complete sentence that we will have here, it will be he will have been playing cricket for 2 days, right? Next, moving on, let's see uses of this tense. This tense, that is future perfect continuous tense. So in which sentences this tense is used? What are the uses of this tense? So let's see, let's read. The future perfect continuous tense is used for actions which will be in progress over a period of time that will end in the future. So one thing that is clear here, that in the sentences, we will have first of all some future time, right? So yes, we will have some future time and we will have some actions, and those actions will be in progress. Those actions will be, they will be going on, they will be continuously going on over a period of time that will end in the future. So this is the use of this tense, future perfect continuous tense. So this tense is used to show the actions that will be in progress, that will be continuously going on in the given future time, right? So we are having some of the examples. So let's read the example to clear this thing one more time. The example is, I shall have been teaching for 4 years next April. So first of all we are having one of the future time, we are talking about next April, right? And as a subject we are having I. So when we are having I or we, at a time we have to write shall have been as a helping verb, and as a main verb again we are writing first form plus ing, we are writing teach plus ing. So we are having teaching. So the complete sentence that we are having here is, I shall have been teaching for 4 years next April. So students, just to be very careful here, we are having future time, we are having one action, the action is to teach, and this action will be in progress, this action will be continuously going on by the end of this time, this future time in fact, okay? So this is the use of future perfect continuous tense, right? So now I am very much sure that this tense is clear to you all. We have discussed all the different rules that are associated with this tense, and we have seen the uses also. Next we are having some of the examples. So after discussing all the things, now I am very much sure that you all are ready to solve the sentence, you all are ready to fill the blanks and complete the sentence. So let's read the first one. The farmers in the field. So we have to use future perfect continuous tense here. So first of all, let's see the subject. As a subject we are having farmers. So we all know that for farmers, or we can say for any other noun, we have to use will have been. So first of all, let's write the helping verb. The helping verb that we are having here is will have been. Clear? Now main verb, so in this tense we have to use first form plus ing. So as a main verb we are having work. So work plus ing, it will be working. So let's write working here. And the complete sentence will be, the farmers will have been working in the field. Clear? Second sentence is, I live at Bhadra for 6 years by the end of next year. So again we are having one future time. We are talking about some future time, and we are having one of the activity. The activity, or we can say the action that we are having here is to live, right? So we have to use future perfect continuous tense here, and as a subject we are having I. So we all know that for I and we have to use shall have been as a helping verb. So first of all, let's write the helping verb, that is shall have been. Now as a main verb we have to use first form plus ing. Our main verb that we are having here is live. So live plus ing, it will be living. So I am writing here living, and the complete sentence will be I shall have been living at Bhatra for 6 years by the end of next year. Clear? Next example is the team practice for an hour before the match begins. Okay, so here also we are talking about the future time, and the time is in this sense that we are having for an hour before the match begins. So in this sentence also we have to use future perfect continuous tense. And now let's focus on the subject. The subject of this sentence is the team. So we all know that if we are having any noun or if we are having any other pronoun except I and we, so in such conditions we have to use will have been. So first of all, let's write the helping verb, that is will have been. And now we will write the main verb. As a main verb we are having practice. Okay, so we have to add ing with the first form. First form is practice, so we will write practice plus ing, so it will be practicing. So let's write here. And the complete sentence will be the team will have been practicing for an hour before the match begins. Okay, so this is the structure of future perfect continuous tense. It's actually very easy tense, and we are having only 2 helping verbs, and as a main verb we have to write first form plus ing. So this is all about future perfect continuous tense, and now I am sure that this tense is very much clear to you all. So now one more time, let's summarize this tense. Let's see all the things, all the rules that are related with this tense, that is future perfect continuous tense. So first of all, let's discuss the helping verb. So in this tense we are having 2 helping verbs. The first one is shall have been, and second one is will have been. So we all know shall have been, it will be used only and only for I and we, and will have been, it will be used for rest of all. Rest of all means for all the other subjects except I and we. Okay, so shall have been, it will be used only and only, or we can say exclusively, for I and we, and for all the other subjects we have to use will have been. And now we are talking about the main verb. So this is future perfect continuous tense. This is one of the continuous tense. So in this tense also we have to use first form, and along with first form we have to use ing. So the main verb will be first form plus ing, and yes, these are the same rules that are applicable for all the different kinds of sentences. So no matter our sentence is a negative one, interrogative one, or positive one, right? So we have to use these rules also. So the pattern, or we can say the structure of the sentence, actually doesn't matter, because we have to use the same rules regarding helping verb and main verb in this tense, that is future perfect continuous tense. Okay, so this is all about our tenses. Now I am very much sure that all the tenses that we have discussed, everything is clear to you all, and students actually work harder, listen carefully, read carefully, and learn all the rules very carefully. Then also you will be able to solve the sentence in your exam. And once this topic tense is clear to you, then all the other topics that we will read further, they will be very much easy to you, right? Because जब हम एक्टिव पैसिव वॉइस पढ़ेंगे, जब हम डायरेक्ट एंड डायरेक्ट स्पीच पढ़ेंगे, सो इन ऑल दीज टॉपिक्स टेंस इट विल बी देयर. सो practice this topic, practice all the tenses very carefully, because this topic will help you to solve all the other topics that are there in our grammar syllabus. Okay, so now next moving on, now let's discuss some of the other things. हमने टेंस तो कंप्लीट कर लिए हैं, बट टेंस में ही कुछ टॉपिक्स और भी आते हैं, कुछ पॉइंट्स और भी आते हैं. सो नाउ लेट्स कवर ऑल द अदर थिंग्स. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी आर हैविंग कंडीशनल सेंटेंस. सो नाउ दिस वर्ड इज वेरी मच फैमिलियर टू यू ऑल, बिकॉज इन सो मैनी टेंसेस वी हैव रेड दिस वर्ड कंडीशनल सेंटेंस, कंडीशनल सेंटेंस. वी हैव डिस्कस कंडीशनल सेंटेंस, we have discussed discussed the structure of conditional sentence. We have discussed the two clauses so many times. So now let's summarize all the different kinds of conditional sentences one more time. Okay, so this is actually, I can say, it's a kind of revision for all of you. So just listen carefully, just look carefully here. So we are having conditional sentences. So we are having different kinds of conditional sentences, different kinds of structures of the conditional sentences, and one by one we will cover all the different structures. So the first one that we are having here is open condition. So first of all, let's try to understand what open condition actually means. So let's read. The condition is likely to be fulfilled. Some possibility, use the simple present in the conditional clause and future simple in the main clause. So first of all, let's try to understand what open condition actually means. So open condition means a condition that is likely to be fulfilled, or we can say a condition in which we are having some possibility. Okay, यानी कि हमें लगता है कि ये जो कंडीशन है, ये कंडीशन में पॉसिबिलिटी है कि ये कंडीशन वो फुलफिल हो जाएगी. So this is known as open condition, and the structure of this condition is that we have to use present simple tense in the condition clause, and in the result clause we have to use future simple tense, right? So ये structure हम कर चुके हैं. We all know that in conditional sentences we are having two different clauses. In one clause condition is there, and that clause is known as conditional clause, and in the second clause we are having the result. Okay, and that clause is known as the result clause. So this is a very first condition that is known as open condition, and in that structure we have to use present simple in the condition clause and future simple in the result clause. So let's see the example. Example that we are having here is, if it rains we shall go for a picnic. So this is a conditional sentence. We are having two clauses here. We are having one condition clause that starts with if. So this is condition clause, and the result clause is we shall go for a picnic. And now let's focus on the structure. In the condition clause we are having what? Present simple tense, right? Because we are having if it rains. Rains means first form plus s, right? हमने first form के साथ में s add कर दिया है. So this is present simple, and in the result clause we are having future simple. How can we say? Because we are having shall plus first form. So now I am very much sure that helping verb, main verb ये आपको बहुत अच्छे से learn हो चुकी हैं सभी tenses की, और जब भी आपको इस sentence पढ़ोगे then you all will be able to identify that what is the tense in that sentence. So here we are having two clauses. In the first clause, that is our condition clause, we are having present simple tense, and second clause, that is our result clause, in that clause we are having future simple tense. So this is the very first structure, and this condition is known as open condition. One more time I am repeating this thing. Open condition is a condition that is having some possibility, you know, कि वो condition जो है वो fulfill हो जाएगी, and the structure of this condition is that in the condition clause we have to use present simple tense, and in the result clause we have to use future simple tense. Clear? Moving on, we are having the second condition. This condition is known as scientific or universal truth. So what it means, let's read. Use the simple present in both the clauses. So if we are having any condition in which we are having scientific or universal truth, so at that time we have to use present simple tense in both the clauses. Both the clauses means in condition clause also and in result clause also. So let's see some of the examples. The first one is, if you heat ice it melts. So yes, this is true, and this is, we can say, it's a scientific fact also, that if we heat ice then obviously it melts. So this is the reason that it is a conditional sentence. We are having two different clauses. We are having condition clause. This is the condition, if you heat ice, and what is the result? It melts. But what is the structure? The structure is that we are having present simple tense in both the clauses, right? If you heat ice, so here we are having you, and you is considered as a plural subject. So this is the reason we are having only heat, we are having only first form, but here we are having it, okay? And this is the reason we are adding s with the first form, so we are having melts, right? So these all things we have discussed earlier, the structure of present simple tense. Second example that we are having here is, if you touch hot iron, it burns. So this is also one of the fact. This is a truth, right? This is a true statement, and this is the reason that in both the clauses we are having a present simple tense. If you touch hot iron, so with you we are having first form touch. It burns. It is a singular subject, so we are having first form plus s. Okay, so the structure is that in the condition clause also we are having present simple tense, and in the result clause also we are having present simple tense. One more example we are having here. Let's read. If we pour oil on water, it flows. So yes, this is also one of the scientific fact, and this is the reason we are having this kind of structure. We are having this particular pattern here, that we are having present simple tense in both the clauses. Okay, in the first clause we are having if we pour oil on water. So with we are having only first form, and again we are having it, and this is the reason we are adding s with the first form. So this is the second condition, and in this condition we are having scientific or universal truth, and in that case the structure will be that both the clauses, both the condition and result clause, both the clauses will have present simple tense. Clear? Moving on, we are having the third conditional sentence. So this is known as improbable, or we can say unlikely condition. So this condition is less likely to be fulfilled, right? So इससे पहले जब हमने open condition पढ़ी थी, so in that condition we have read that condition is having the possibility, right? कि जो condition है वो fulfill हो जाएगी, but improbable or unlikely condition is a condition that is less likely to be fulfilled. Let's read further. Use the simple past tense in the conditional clauses and would, should, could, might plus verb first form in the main clause. So in such cases, in such conditions, what will be the structure? In such cases, when we are having unlikely condition, so we have to use simple past tense. When in the condition clause and in the result clause we have to use any of these words, would, could, should, might, and with them we have to use the first form of the verb. So this is the structure, and now we are having some of the examples. So let's read. If I won lottery, I would buy a car. So this is, we can say, unlikely condition. This is having less possibility to be fulfilled, and in the condition clause we are having past simple tense. How can we say? Because we are having second form of the verb and we are having no helping verb here, so this is past simple tense. And in the result clause we are having would plus first form, we are having would plus buy, and the sentence will be if I won lottery, I would buy a car. Second one is if you worked hard, you would pass. So again in the structure we can see that we are having past simple tense here because worked is the second form and we are having no helping verb, did is hidden here. So this is past simple tense, and in the result clause again we are having would plus first form, we are having would plus past, right? So again this is the third structure of our conditional sentence, and in this structure in the condition clause we are having past simple tense, and in the result clause we have to use would plus third form, or we can use would, should, could. Okay, but with all these words we have to use first form of the verb. Okay. Next we are having fourth type of conditional sentence. This is known as imaginary condition, or we can say situation of a non-reality. So this is known as imaginary condition. So what it means, let's read further. Use were in the conditional clause and would, should, could, might, and with them first form of the verb in the main clause. Okay, so this is the structure of imaginary condition, and let's read the example to understand that what imaginary condition means actually. So let's read the sentence first. If I were rich, I would buy a car. So this is our imagination. Someone is talking about talking here, and that person is not rich at that time, but he's having this kind of imagination and he is using this imaginary condition, and he is saying that if he were rich. Okay, so this is the imaginary condition where someone is talking here and he he is having the imagination and he is saying that if I were rich I would buy a car. So this is the structure that in condition clause we have to use the were. Okay, so were means this is imaginary condition. So in the condition clause we have to use were, and in the result clause again we have to use would plus first form, or we can use should, could or might, but with along these words we have to use first form of the verb. One more example we are having here, if I were a bird I should fly. So this is also imaginary condition, right, because one person is speaking here and he is having the imagination that if I were a bird. So in this condition clause we are having were here, and in the result clause we are having should plus first form of the main verb. So these examples are known as imaginary condition in which we are having some or other imagination. Okay, next we are having one more type of conditional sentence, and this is known as unfulfilled conditions and in past time, right. Let's read. Use the past perfect tense in the conditional clause and would, should, could, might or have plus for verb first, verb's third form in the main clause. So this thing we have discussed already when we were reading the tenses. So let's read the example one more time to revise the examples. So let's read. If I had worked hard last year I would have obtained good marks. So first of all students, let's try to understand that this is known as unfulfilled condition, and here we are talking about the past time, right. So हम past time के बारे में कोई बात करते हैं और ये unfulfilled condition क्यों होती है, because ऐसा हुआ नहीं है, but still we are talking about this thing that if I had worked hard last year, right, hard work नहीं किया, but right now we are saying this thing that if I had worked hard last year then I would have obtained good marks. Okay, so this is the reason it is known as unfulfilled condition, because ये condition पूरी नहीं हुई है और ये past time की होती है. So we know कि ये past time में पूरी नहीं हो पाई, ये condition fulfill नहीं हो पाई, and in such conditions, in such situations, the structure that we are having here, that in the condition clause we have to use what, past perfect tense. Okay, so we are having had plus third form, so this is known as past perfect tense, and in the result clause we have to use would have plus third form. Okay, so this is the structure. In such structure, in the condition clause we are having past perfect tense, and in the result clause we are having would have plus third form, and this structure we have discussed earlier also when we were studying past perfect tense. Okay, so these are the 5 different types of conditional sentence, and these are the 5 structures. Okay, so we have to follow one structure at a time. अगर हम ये structure follow कर रहे हैं कि हमें conditional clause में past perfect tense हम use कर रहे हैं, then in the result clause you have to follow this structure only. You have to write would have plus third form. Okay, so complete structure हमें follow करना है. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम conditional clause में तो ये लिख रहे हैं, राइट, वुड हम कंडीशनल क्लॉज में तो सपोज हम पास्ट परफेक्ट टेंस लिख रहे हैं, बट रिजल्ट क्लॉज में हमने ये ना लिख के ओनली वुड प्लस फर्स्ट फॉर्म लिख दिया. नो, दिस इज नॉट द वे. यू हैव टू फॉलो वन स्ट्रक्चर इन अ कंप्लीट मैनर. जस्ट फॉलो एनी ऑफ द कंडीशनल सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर बट कंप्लीटली, राइट. जो ये पेयर है कंडीशनल क्लॉज का एंड रिजल्ट क्लॉज का, दैट यू हैव टू फॉलो इन अ प्रॉपर मैनर. Okay, so these are the conditional sentences. Now I am sure that conditional sentences are very easy for you, because now we have discussed all the things so many times. We have summarized, we have revised all the conditional sentences with examples also one more time. Next, moving on, now we are having some of the important fact. Okay, so we have discussed all the different tenses, we have discussed conditional sentences also, but still we are having some or the other fact that are still remaining. So let's read those facts that are very much important, because in facts पे based sentence generally exam में आते हैं, right. और ये जो सारे we can say points हैं, facts हैं, ये सभी आपको आपके knowledge में होने चाहिए. So let's read the first one. If two clauses are connected with and, then same tense will be there in both the clauses. So this is the very first point, and according to this point, what we are having that if we are having two clauses, right, and both the clauses are having one conjunction, that is and, right, यानी कि and से दोनों clause जो है वो आपस में connected है, और एक clause तो हमें complete दिया हुआ है और दूसरे clause में हमें blank दिया हुआ है, then we have to follow the same tense that we are having in the given clause. So what it means, we are having the example to clear the thing. Let's read. He opened the door and saw that it was raining. So look here carefully. We are having two clauses. The one clause is he opened the door. The second clause is he saw that it was raining, and both the clauses, they are connected with and, right. In the second clause we are having the complete sentence. In the first clause we are having one blank. We have to fill the blank. So what will we write here? So we have to in such cases we have to see on the second clause that we are having. This is and saw that it was raining. So what saw means? Saw means it is a second form of the verb. It means we are having past simple tense here, right. So when we are having past simple tense in the second clause, then in the first clause also we have to follow past simple tense. So here also we have to write second form of the verb because we are having a positive sentence. So we will write open, and the complete sentence will be he opened the door and saw that it was raining. Okay, so this is the first point where you have to be very careful that if in a sentence you are having two different clauses and the clauses are connected to using and you are having blank in one clause and the second clause is given in a complete manner to you. So just read the given clause in a proper manner, try to identify the tense and then use the same tense to fill the blank, use the same tense to complete the sentence, and we have seen the example as well. Next, moving on, we are having a second point. Let's read. We always use first form after to. So this is something very important. This point is that always to, there will be first form only. Why? Because it is known as to infinitive. Okay, so this term we can say is known as to infinitive. It means that after to, always, always and always without any exception, you have to use first form of the verb only. So what it means, let's read the examples. The first one is he is going to Agra to visit the Taj. So we are having blank, and what it means, we have discussed this thing also. Is going to, are going to, am going to, it means actually will, right? So it actually means will. So we are having he is going to Agra, but here we are having to before the blank, and in the blank we have to fill the verb, and in the bracket we are having visit. So just to be very careful and just learn this thing that if we are having to just before the blank, then in the blank we have to write first form only, we have to write visit only, because this is known as to infinitive. To infinitive means to is always and always there with first form of the main verb. It means to plus first form always, and yes, no exception here in this case. Always after to there will be first form of the main verb. One more example we are having here. They went to the city to buy good stuff. Again we are having to here, and after to there is a blank. So we have to write first form, that is buy only, and the sentence will be they went to the city to buy good stuff. Okay, so this point is known as to infinitive. To infinitive means to plus verbs first form always and always. Clear? Next we are having our third point. Let's read. I wish clause is followed by past simple tense. So in this point we are having that if in a sentence we are having I wish, okay, so after that we have to use past simple tense. So this is a structure that we have to follow. So we are having example to clear this thing. The first sentence is I wish you be a king. Okay, so in this sentence we are having I wish at the beginning of the sentence. So after that we have to use past past tense. Okay, so be, so what be means, we have discussed this thing earlier also. Be means is, are, am, was, were. Okay, so we have to use past form. Past form means हमारे पास दो ऑप्शन बचते हैं, was and were, and we are having you as a subject, so we will write here were. And the sentence will be, I wish you were a king. Okay, next is, I wish I know his name. Again we are having a clause, that is I wish. So after I wish we have to write past simple tense, and this is a positive sentence. We are having no here, so we all know that in a positive sentence we have to use second form of the main verb, and no helping verb will be here because did is hidden here. So what is the second form of no? Yes, this is knew. So we will write here knew, and the sentence will be, I wish I knew his name. So this is the structure that you have to learn, that if you are having I wish in a sentence, so that clause will be followed by past simple tense. Clear? Next, fourth point we are having, I wished clause should be followed by past perfect tense. So now we are having कि अगर हमारे सेंटेंस में clause है I wished, इससे पहले जो हमने point पढ़ा था, in that point we were having I wish, right? But what is the difference? Now we are having I wished, right? So if we were having I wish, then we have to write past simple, but if we are having I wished, then we have to write past perfect tense. So these are very particular structure जो आपको learn करनी है. I wish will be with past simple, and I wished it will be with past perfect. So let's see the examples. Now we are having I wished I know about his plan. So here we are having I wished. So according to the structure we have to write past perfect tense here, and now you have to be aware about the helping verb and main verb. आपने ये learn कर लिया कि I wished है तो हमें past perfect tense लिखना है, but then you have to recall what past perfect means, which helping verb, which main verb, right? So past perfect means had as a helping verb and third form of the main verb. So main verb that we are having here is know. So what is the third form of know? It is known. So the structure will be, I wished I had known about his plan. Now just suppose here we are अगर हमारे यहाँ I wished की जगह I wish होता, okay, if we are having I wish तो हम कैसे complete करते? Then we will complete the sentence like I wish I knew about his plan, because with I wish we have to write past simple tense, and with I wished we have to write past perfect tense. One more example we are having, I wished I discussed the issue earlier. So we are having I wished, so we are aware this thing that we have to write past perfect, and yes, past perfect means had plus third form, had as a helping verb, and third form of discuss, it will be discussed. So the sentence will be, I wished I had discussed the issue earlier. Okay, so these are the structures जो आपको learn होने हैं कि अगर I wish है तो कौन सा tense हमें use करना है, I wished है तो कौन सा tense use करना है, blank से पहले अगर to है तो blank में verb की कौन सी form fill करनी है. So these all are very particular structures that you have to learn very carefully. Next, moving on, we are having the fifth point. So let's read. Is going to is used to show future action. So this thing we have discussed already also. So if we are having is going to, or we can say we are having am going to or are going to according to the subject. So what it means? It means we are having future actions, because it is going to, are going to, am going to. It actually means will or shall. So let's see some of the example. He is going to buy a car. So here is going to, what it means? It means will. Right, we can say he will buy a car. Similarly, we can say he is going to buy a car. Similarly, we are having they are going to discuss it with the team. So this is the same sentence. If we are saying that they will discuss it with the team. Next we are having I am going to raise the issues. So this is the same sentence if we are saying that I shall raise the issue. Okay, so we all know that I के साथ हमें shall use करना है. So here am going to means shall and here also are going to means will. Okay, so is going to, are going to, am going to, they actually show future actions because they actually means will and shall. Next we are having sixth point. Let's read. It is time should be followed by past simple tense. So again we are having another clause, that is it is time. So if in our sentence we are having it is time, then after that we have to write past simple tense. Again let's see the example. It is time we started a new business. So in the beginning we are having it is time. So again you have to learn this structure, that if we are having it is time, so after that we have to write past simple tense, and past simple means second form of the verb and no helping verb. Next is 7 point. It was time should be followed by past perfect tense. So here we are having that if in the sentence the clause is it was time. Okay, so at that time you have to write past perfect tense. Okay, let's clear one more time. If you are having, if it is time, then just use past simple, and in the sentence if we are having it was time, then you have to use past perfect. Again some examples we are having. It was time we had completed our projects. So because we are having it was time, so this is the reason that we are writing past perfect here, and past perfect means had plus third form of the verb. Okay, so suppose अगर यहाँ पे it is time होता, then in that condition we have to use past simple, और तब हम sentence कैसे frame करते? At that time the structure would be it is time we completed our projects, but here we are having it was time, so we are using past perfect tense here, and past perfect means had plus third form of the verb. Next we are having 8th point. This point means if as if is preceded by present simple, we should use past simple after as if. So according to this point, if in a sentence we are having as if, okay, and that clause is preceded by present simple, then after that we have to use past simple. So what it means, let's see the example. He talks as if he were a hero. So just to focus that in this sentence we are having as if, okay, and before as if we are having present simple, we are having he talks. Okay, so with he we are having first form plus s or es. So this is a structure of present simple. So if in a sentence we are having as if, and before as if we are having present simple, so after as if according to the structure we have to use past simple, and this is the reason we are writing were here. So the sentence will be he talks as if he were a hero. So this is the structure that before as if we have to use present simple, and after as if we have to use past simple. Okay, again this is a very particular kind of structure. Before as if there will be present simple tense, after as if there will be past simple tense. Next point is if as if preceded by verb second form or past simple, it is followed by past perfect tense. Again we are having one more structure, and now according to this structure let's see the example. He talked as if he had been a hero. Again we are having as if in the sentence, but now before as if we are having past simple tense. How can we say? Because we are having second form of the verb, that is talked, and no helping verb here. So this is past simple tense. So according to the structure, if we are having past simple tense before as if, so after as if we have to use past perfect tense. So this is the reason we are writing had plus third form. So again this is the structure that before as if we are having past simple, then after as if we have to use past perfect. Clear? So again, this is a very particular structure. Before as if, past simple tense. After as if, past perfect tense. Again, this is the combination and use these structures in combination only, right? अगर as if से पहले past simple हमें दिया हुआ है, then after you have to use past perfect only. And if before as if you are having present simple, then after as if you have to use past simple, right? So just follow the structure in a complete manner, okay? Next, one more point we are having here. If main clause is in future tense, dependent clause headed by when, before, until, unless, after, till takes present tense verb. So now we are having this rule that if in a sentence we are having two clauses and if the main clause is in future tense, okay, then the dependent clause, you know, if it is headed by any of these words that we are having here, then that clause will be in present tense. So let's see the example to clear this thing. I will tell you the whole story when you return. So we are having this clause when you know we are having future tense, okay, will plus first form, this is future simple tense. So we are having future simple in this clause. I will tell you the whole story, and next we are having when, okay. So if we are having any of these words, when, before, until, unless, after, till, then we have to use present tense here, okay. So now we are writing the structure of the present simple tense. We are writing you return, okay. Again, this is the structure of the sentence. According to this structure, if in the main clause we are having future tense and after that we are having any of these words, okay, then we have to write present tense after these words, right. So students, all these points are also very much important because these are all the points are related with the particular structures, okay. So just read all the points very carefully and learn all these structures, right. So now we have completed all the points, all the things that are related with our topic tense, and we have discussed all the things in much details. So now I am very much sure that you all are able to solve all the sentences. You will be able to complete all the sentence. You will be able to fill all the blanks in your exam. So work hard, read carefully, read again and again, and learn all the rules, okay. And just be with me in the next video. We will start with our next topic. See you in the next video. Thank you.